Now's the time, Quartermaster.
Hey everyone, this is Mike with SkylanderNuts.com. I'm here today to do another Skylanders character review for Skylanders Superchargers. Today we're going to be doing Gill Grunt and the Reef Ripper. Now both of these come right now in the Sea Racing Pack. It's an additional pack you can buy for Skylanders that contains both of these characters and a trophy which will unlock 2 extra race tracks and some new race modes like a boss challenge and a villain cup and some stuff like that. So it's a pretty good deal if you want more racing in your Skylanders. And if you don't care about the racing and just want the characters, it might not be a bad deal either. If you're familiar with Gill Grunt, he's been in every single game so far. I think he might be the only character that has that distinction. This is his best iteration by far, I think. Well, let's take a look at him up close. Alright, as you can see, this year Gill Grunt he is posed, he is ready to attack. He's got his trident up here. He looks like he's kind of off the ground. That's because in the back you've got the water streaming out of his jetpack here, and it's literally kind of lifting him off the ground. He is still standing on his supercharged engine, as all the superchargers do, but he's got a very active water jetpack, a nice big trident that looks like he's ready to stab something with. And he's still kind of happy. He's always been a happy Skylander. But he's wearing a sea diving helmet. His jumpsuit's got a little more accents on it this year. I don't know what these things are, but I'm sure it's something for diving. Pretty cool. I like his character quite a lot. If you're used to his attacks in the old games, you know, in the new game they're all different. So don't think you know his attacks from just because you had him last year or in a different game. I'd say he's been far upgraded this year. His attacks this year are going to be much more exciting than they were in the past, much more powerful. But that's his character. He's even got these nice little flippers on so he can dive deep, I guess. The only ironic thing about his character is he looks like he's going to stab somebody with this trident, but I don't believe he doesn't really do that in the game. There's one move he does that's pretty powerful where he does kind of stick his trident out and shake it around, but he doesn't actually hold it over his head and like stab anybody with it or throw it. He doesn't throw it like he has in years past. So, I don't know. Kind of funny, but still a good pose and a pretty solid character. Now let's take a look at the Reef Ripper. Now the Reef Ripper is not as exciting, I think. It is like a submarine-based ship. It's in the same colors as Gill Grunt, which is nice. It's got the green and the gold accents, so that goes well with Gill Grunt. The fin back here does move, so if you're playing with it, it does move. I would not recommend playing with this in the bathtub, even though it is a sea and water toy. You don't want to ruin the electronics in the bottom. Somewhere in there is how it knows it's on the portal, so it might be safe. It looks pretty waterproof, but I don't think I would recommend it. Other than that, you know, he's got these two windows up here that look a little bit like eyes. The boys call them eyes, the ship's eyes, but you know, it's not a bad ship. Pretty cool submarine, but not entirely useful in the game. It's kind of fast. You still can win some races with it, but it makes more sense in the levels where you have to actually dive down and make your way through caverns and stuff like that. And the two-dimensional side-scrolling part kind of works well with this one. Alright, so here's both of them together. Gill Grunt and the Reef Ripper. Not a bad combo. The Reef Ripper, although it's maybe not super fast, is going to be pretty powerful. So we're going to take these into the game, and I'm going to show you the attacks of Gill Grunt. You're going to find that he's got some very powerful moves this year. He's one of the best Skylanders to use if you just want to kind of make your way easily through the game. And the Reef Ripper, once it's built up with its weapon and shields, it has some pretty massive attacks as well. It can take out some enemies really quick in the water. Where you do have to battle them, it'll be a big help. So, let's get these on the portal, let's get them in the game, and I'll show you what the attacks are for Gill Grunt and the Reef Ripper. And I'll be right back.
Reef Ripper, Tidal Wave Crasher, Thumpback Prow, Ocean Upheaval, Supercharged.
Alright, I'm back and I've got Deep Dive Gill Grunt and the Reef Ripper on the portal. And I am ready at Battle Brawl Island so we can start our look at Deep Dive Gill Grunt's attacks. So let's get back into the mission. Alright, now we're going to start with his basic attack first, the Trident Thrust. It's one press of the button, simply attacks the enemy just like that. It's not too exciting, it does a little bit of damage. It's kind of even hard to show you just this attack, but that's his basic attack. It's just a stab of his trident. Alright, now his secondary attack, as I try to jump these things, is called Power of the Seas. When we hit the attack 2 button, we're going to attack enemies with a long-range lightning attack. So we got some... Oh, I missed him. We got a little ranged action with Gill Grunt now. He always had that with his trident ends or whatever, but this one's a little harder to control. There we go. As you can see, it does good. It goes a good deal across the screen, if not the entire screen. So you can hit from really far away, and that's nice. You do have to be aimed though directly at your enemy. Alright, not too bad. I don't know if I actually use that one a lot though, which is strange because I'm a big fan of ranged attacks. Alright, now when you buy his third attack upgrade, it's a little similar to what he used to have. It's called Typhoon Turbine Jetpack. Now when we hit this third attack button, he's going to kind of swim in the air now. It's almost like Gill Grunt's flying. That's pretty funny. A flying fish. But yeah, it's kind of like his jetpack before where he was levitating off the ground for a little bit, but this time it doesn't end. You just trigger the mode by hitting that attack 3 button and you're good to go. Now while you're in this mode, the attack 1 button does a bit of a dash attack, although it's not quite a dash attack. It looks like it. That wave is what attacks, and it only hits 1 time as you go through. There we go. Should be wiping out these flame guys, you would think, right? Water beats fire. Oh well. Not this time, not in this game. And while you're in this mode, if you hit the attack 2 button, you'll send the wave ahead without really following it. Like that. It's another form of a ranged attack. Let's see, does that hit me? Yep. Even though I'm in the air, you're still gonna have to jump that shockwave thing that they like to do. So whether you throw a wave or dash through them, you're still doing a little bit of damage. There we go. Bam. And if you hit the attack 3 button again, you simply land back on your feet. Alright. Here come the flying shafts, or whatever. Some food for Gill Grunt. Alright, well I'm going to talk about one other move when he's in this Y or attack 3 button the Typhoon Turbine Jetpack there. He has another upgrade called Wild Whirlpool. Now, last time we hit the attack 2 button, he threw out a wave like that. Well, if we hold it down in this mode, look at that. Creates this little whirlpool. Let's see how that deals with the sheep. It's kind of boring to use on the sheep, I guess. I like to see that in action against some real enemies. But that is called Wild Whirlpool, and it's the only upgrade that you get that is directly related to being in this Typhoon Turbine Jetpack mode. Now, if you choose the optional path, Turret Tamer path, that will actually increase your wave attacks, and that will do a little bit more while you're in this Turbine Jetpack mode as well. And we have one other upgrade that has to do with this Turbine Jetpack mode, but we'll get to that in a second. Alright, so I want to land that, get rid of these sheep. Let's see, what other upgrades can I talk about? The Trident Unleashed upgrade, that's one of your basic upgrades that just allow your Trident attacks to do more damage. So, kind of boring. You can't tell it's upgraded, but there it is. And that leaves us with my favorite basic upgrade and the last basic upgrade. And I'll show you that in a second. As soon as Shell Shock gets done with his commentating. Alright. Here comes Captain Bristlestash. Alright, now this is my favorite upgrade and my favorite move that I use with Gill Grunt. It's called Trident True, and it is further upgraded in the Storm Summoner path by an upgrade called Shocking Transition. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's called Lightning Strikes. I don't know, they have the exact same description, so maybe one is stronger than the other, I'm not sure. But all you have to do is hold the attack 1 button down. So if I get away from these guys for a second, there it is. You can turn him and he will attack whatever he is aimed toward. And you can just hold it down. I am just holding down the attack 1 button. Easy. Powerful. Look how fast he attacks. This is after both those upgrades I was talking about. Now he won't move forward, so you kind of have to walk to your guy again. But he can turn in circles. Did you see how fast I took out that guy who throws the grenades? I mean, it pushes him back, knocks him back, and takes him out. Now I'm going to take out Captain Bristlestash with the exact same move. Only stopping to dodge. Whoop, I didn't really dodge, did I? Alright, now I'm going to take out these 2 guys. Oh, you can't see. Take them all out. Look at that. That is just powerful. That is one of my favorite moves, most powerful moves of all the Skylanders I think I have. Look, I'm just holding it down and it just follows. He'll move forward to follow, like to lunge at him. But you don't really have to. He won't move forward if he's not hitting them. If he's hitting somebody and they're moving away, he kind of follows them. It's awesome. Alright, so I took care of that guy in record time with that 1 attack. So let me talk about the path we chose in the Storm Summoner path. Like I said, the first upgrade is called Lightning Strikes, and it has the same description as the Trident True. Basically, you hold the attack 1 button down, and while you're not in the jetpack mode, and he'll attack all the nearby enemies with lightning. The next one is called Shocking Transition. Now, if you noticed before when I pressed the attack 3 button to begin hovering with the jetpack, you may have seen a bit of lightning spread across the field. And that's due to this upgrade in this path. It's called Shocking Transition. So let me try that again. As soon as I jump, see that lightning? That lightning happens every time you enter the mode. Only when you enter it, not when you leave it. See, I leave it, nothing. Enter it, sends out some lightning. It's pretty cool when you have lots of enemies around you. It's not going to help against Spell Slammer very much at this point in time. Our other and last upgrade in this path is called Lightning Buildup. Here, it's kind of boring. It's just that the lightning attacks will do more damage. So we saw all of our favorite lightning moves, like, whoops, I gotta get out of the jetpack mode. Like this. I mean, that'll hit them, it hurts them, and it's more powerful because all lightning attacks are now more powerful. Oh, I can just sit here until he's tired and he's done.
If you can't win, cheat. Feeling lost, Skylander?
Alright, that leaves us with one last attack that I can show.
You're completely under my power.
And I'll start showing it as soon as I get those guys out. Alright, it's the Soul Gem move, and it's called Storm of the Seas, and it's pretty cool. I want to try to let these guys get around me. Now when you hold the attack 2 button down, you can summon a powerful lightning storm. Let's see how that works. There it is. It hit almost everybody. It doesn't hit the entire screen. There we go. Just hold it down again, shoots lightning everywhere. Not too bad, pretty powerful. I took out those guys with some ease. But once again, when you're back to a single enemy creature, just hold that attack 1 button down. It's alright, take some damage. It won't really stop you. Alright, buddy. Spell slams are going down. Alright, multiple enemies. I'm back to the Soul Gem attack. Not bad. It's taking... It is hitting everybody on the screen, I think. Uh-oh. It does take a minute to charge, though, so you gotta get slightly open. And always take out the life funk however you can do it, as fast as you can do it. Alright, I believe that's everything. I'm trying to think if there's any cool last minute moves I can show, but not really. We're back to the way overpowered tried and true attack. And he just, as he stands there, Gill Grunt will finish him off. Gill Grunt helped us so many times when we were losing Skylanders. When there's someone you have to go to, we pick Gill Grunt just for that one attack. He may not have the most interesting attacks of all the Skylanders, but that attack is definitely a go-to attack. Alright, well, the one path that I couldn't show you is called the Torrent Tamer path, and these upgrades would upgrade the wave abilities. So the first one is called Wave Jumpers, and when you press the attack 3 button to begin to hover, every time you begin to hover and every time you exit hovering, you would get the jetpack would cause a water explosion that damages nearby enemies. So kind of like our shocking transition where the lightning strike went everywhere every time I jumped in the air. This would do a water explosion every time you jumped in the air and landed. So not too bad. I'd like to see that to see how useful that would actually be. Another upgrade is called Tubular Tidal Wave. You can press the attack 2 button and shoot 3 large waves out instead of 1, I'm assuming. So I'm also assuming those might be horizontal. Maybe you get a little wider attack on that. That doesn't sound too bad. And the last one is called Drive the Wave. And if you hold the attack 1 button while in the jetpack mode, you would ride a huge tidal wave. I'd like to see that. That'd be kind of fun. But I bet it's not any different than our little dash attack with the wave. That probably just looks better, and of course will do more damage. So there you go. There's all the deep dive Gill Grunt's attacks. Overall, I think he's a very good character to use. His attacks are very competent. Lots of ranged attacks. That trident attack is kind of like an up-close melee attack, but it will get the job done in a hurry. So, especially if you chose that Storm Summoner path. It's also pretty good when you don't choose that path before you get that far. It still does a lot of damage quickly. So pretty cool. I like it. I like this version of Gill Grunt a little better than the older versions. He's a little quicker, a little more ranged, and a lot more powerful. Alright, well, let's switch over now to the Reef Ripper, and I will find a sea challenge, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, I have made it to the Storm Sequencer battle. That is in Chapter 13 in the Cloud Kingdom. Now, this is one of the few areas I can recall where you can actually do a little bit of battling in your water vehicle. A lot of times the water levels are just some puzzles or a 2D side-scrolling kind of maze, I guess, to maneuver through, and you don't really do that much fighting. So I'm here now, and we're going to get back in this game, and I'll show you Gill Grunt's attacks as best as I can. Now his main attack here is his he shoots tridents, kind of like missiles there, and you can see they do a fair bit of damage too, but they kind of just go straight and they attack the target that you aim at. You do have to kind of aim it at them. Alright, now here are the little ships. Let's see if I get my cursor on them, if it'll home in on the enemies or not. Now, it's kind of hard to miss when the cursor's on them. Alright, well, his other attack is the Electrify the Tail. Did you see that? I hit the attack 3 button. He sends out a burst of electricity, kind of damages everybody nearby. It's not a bad attack. It did a lot of damage to that boat. Let's see what happens when I get in on the Storm Sequencer. I gotta be pretty close to it. Look at that. That's a lot of damage. You see how much his energy bar went down? Let's try again. Boom. Get in close enough and it only takes a few hits. And you can do it pretty fast. I was taking my time just to see what the damage was, but yeah, we got him down to nothing in no time. This part though, if they don't die to this attack, they're not dying to any attack. So here's where we have to trick the Storm Sequencer into firing at these boats. There we go. Once fired upon, easily taken out with just one electrify attack. Oh, come on. I'm going too fast. There we go. Now let me destroy this one with the Ocean Upheaval Trident attack. If I can see where he went. There he is. 3 times. So 3 hits with that versus 1 with the lightning. I rather like the lightning attack myself. Boom. Now, like I said, there's not many levels where you have to worry about the attacks of the water vehicles, but Reef Ripper does a really good job. So definitely would recommend him as a
Great job. Now finish off that Storm Sequencer and get out of here.
Ooh, I'm in that spinning mode that happens to me every so often. I think it's a defect of some kind. Can't stop spinning. There we go. Alright, now we can finish him off. Get up there, electrify him. Boom. Toast. Alright. There you have it. Those are his 2 basic attacks. He's been leveled up with all the performance mods and specialty mods, so he's got plus 10 to some things like handling and probably, I'm not sure what else I kept on him at the time. Yeah. But you know, they don't help that much in the attacking, so the best part about the mods is for the racing, and Reef Ripper does okay in the races. I notice he's pretty fast now that he's got all of his good upgrades there. His plus 10 to speed or acceleration doesn't do that much, doesn't change him that much from what he normally is. But he can win some races. I think there are some faster boats. Of course, it's a little bit subjective, but he handles well. I would use him in the races, but there may be some faster boats that you may want to go to should you start losing with the Reef Ripper. Well, that does it for Reef Ripper and Gill Grunt. I think Gill Grunt is a pretty strong character. I like him a lot. He's a lot better than he was in the past. He's not very diverse, I guess. I mean, he's got that one powerful move after an upgrade, so that's what I use. And that's what I like. So I don't use too many of his other moves, but they all do kind of work. But when you have one move like that that you could just go to over and over again, I don't know, it takes a little bit away from the character, making him one-dimensional instead of having different ways to attack. The hovering and the jet stream pack is cool, but I never use that. I mean, there's no need to jump up in the air when you have some trident attacks that are as powerful as what he has. So I'm going to give Gill Grunt a solid 8. I think he's a great character. If you haven't played with him in the past, he's been in just about every game. You know, pick him up, give him a try. He's part of the land, or not the land, of course. He's part of the sea racing pack now. So if you want the racing and the races, you have to have him. And, you know, it's not a bad thing to have to play with him through the levels. And the Reef Ripper, also pretty good. I'm going to give the Reef Ripper an 8.5. His racing is decent, and his power, when you do have to attack things like you saw I just did with the lightning attacks, I'm not sure there's a better attack. I have some questions. There are some other good attacks out there, but that one is pretty powerful, and it makes short work of the enemies that you have to fight. So really a good, a very good sea vehicle. So overall, you know, recommend the Sea Racing pack. It's got some fun gameplay in it, and it's pretty cool characters. Now, you might be tired of Gill Grunt if you play with him in the past, and I can understand maybe not being interested in him because he's old and you've seen him a lot of times before. But put that aside, and Gill Grunt, the new Gill Grunt, the supercharged Gill Grunt, is probably worth playing with more than some of the older ones. So, alright, I hope you enjoyed that review of Gill Grunt, Deep Dive Gill Grunt, and the Reef Ripper. If you liked it, hit my like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and I'll have more videos. The boys will have some videos. We'll do some gameplay videos, and we'll keep you up to date with Skylander going on. So until next time, this is Mike saying have fun with Skylander Superchargers, and we'll be back again soon.